look what I got! The Korean Mach frame version 2! I just received my Korean Mach frame version 2, and we're going to be comparing it against the original Korean Mach frame. So let's take a look inside this box and see what is different about this version versus the old version. So here is the Korean Mach frame Fighting Korea Edition version 2. And yeah, it comes in this like red background box. The original one was not red like this in the background. The rest of the coloring is basically same except for the cowl. The cowl is clear in this new version. The original cowl was white, just like a regular standard Mach frame cowl. There is no difference between the white cowl on the Korean Mach frame version 1 and your standard Mach frame cowl. So the stickers are definitely different. As you see here, the stickers are different on the Korean Mach frame versus the standard Mach frame. So here, it looks like they changed the stickers yet again. So here we have a different sticker set, it looks like. At least it looks like from here. That might not be the case when we actually unbox it. So here you see a light blue versus this dark blue. We see red just like here. We see a lot of similar accents. See this blue right here, but I actually made my Korean Mach frame look a little different with extra things here and there. So we won't know exactly for sure what it's going to look like until we open the box and see what's inside. So a lot of you have been very excited about the introduction of version 2. You're wondering what's different about it. I'm going to show you what is different about this kit, and maybe that'll help you in your decision making, whether you want to purchase this or not. So I purchased this for $35 from a very reputable source. I think that a good price for this would have been more like $25 or even $30 tops, but unfortunately, since this is a relatively rare kit, it's basically one of the only places where you can purchase this, at least in the United States. So yeah, you can go fly over to Korea and probably get this for real cheap, probably for $11. But how are you going to get it back, right? So you'll have to pay for shipping and all of that. And yeah, it's these kinds of cars will just fly off the shelves, even in Korea. So let's take a look at the side box here. And we see here ABS resin chassis blue. Ooh, have they improved this blue chassis here over the original version 1 of the Fighting Korea Edition Mach frame? Don't know, we'll see. A parts in low friction resin, cool. 3.5 to 1 gear ratio, cool. 13 millimeter rollers, cool. Carbon reinforced wheels, dish black, cool. Single shaft motor, cool. And low friction, small diameter, low profile tires in maroon with lettering, cool. So far, all of this is exactly the same as version 1 of the Korean Mach frame. Let's look at the side box here. This looks pretty cool too, right? It's a new picture of this clear cowled version of the car. Yep. And here, item number 92451, pretty cool. Sorry for the not so clear picture there. There, it might be a little clearer now. And then we have here, yes, the usual stuff here. Smoke-colored body, there we go. Clear type stickers, cool. Okay, so I think the stickers and the body are basically the only things that actually changed in this kit, but we'll see. Let's take a look at what's inside. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to weigh the parts. I'm going to weigh your typical white cowl for a regular Mach frame, and I'm also going to weigh the cowl for the Korean Mach frame version 2, and we'll see if there's a difference. So the weight of this should be exactly the same, whether it be a standard Mach frame or this Korean Mach frame. Now, I don't have the front piece on here. I think I lost it somewhere. But not to worry, I'm going to weigh all of what you see here in the clear version, and we're going to see if there's a weight difference. If there is a weight difference, then you know that the new version 2 might be a little lighter, or maybe even a little heavier than the first version or the standard Mach frame. So let's take a look. Okay, we've opened the box right here. Here, first item is there, this maroon low friction tires, same as the previous kit. And I think the labeling is exactly the same. It says Fighting Korea Edition Mach frame. And that's exactly what it says on the version 1 tires. We also have, let's take a look at these carbon dish wheels. Yep, they look exactly the same as the previous ones, and they're made of this carbon reinforced material. And now we come to, aha, the thing that makes this unique, the so-called smoke-colored resin body here, which is a clear, basically translucent plastic. So let's take a look at what's inside. Let's open this up. Let's cut it open and reveal what it exactly looks like underneath the plastic. There we go. Cool. Okay, so let's start cutting the parts off of the trees. So we're going to be adding this piece on here. Good. And also this piece. And yeah, we're omitting this because we don't have this piece for this. So let's take a look at what these weigh on the scale. All right, so the white cowl, 10.53 grams. Let's weigh this again. 10.53 grams. Now the clear version, 11 grams. 11 grams. So you see here, this weighs half a gram less than this one. So the clear plastic is actually the heavier of the two materials. So what does that mean exactly for us racers? Half a gram more. Is that going to help or hinder us? What do you think? You can write something in the comments down below and tell me what you think about this. You can pause the video if you'd like. So the biggest criticism of this car seems to be that it's too fast for its own good because of the low friction tires. And because it's too fast for its own good, and it's really, really fast, and the weight of this is like very similar to a standard Mach frame. With this cowl being heavier than the cowls of a standard Mach frame or a Korean Mach frame, we're looking at half gram. That might be enough to keep this really fast car on the track. So it's a little bit heavier, and for box stock purposes, it might be a good choice for certain tracks. So this might be really good for fast tracks in which there are not a lot of jumps and such on there, but for anything that has a jump, the clear version might actually be a little better than the original version 1, just because it's half a gram heavier. And remember, every gram counts when you're talking about cars this small. So that difference aside, let's see what else might be different in here. So let's take a look at the chassis. Now remember, one of the gripes I had with the chassis, the original version 1 of this Korean Mach frame, was it's the soft blue plastic. And as you see here, this has already been battle damaged so many times. The front roller mounts are so, like, they crack easily and they're so soft, and even without this car coursing out and crashing, these roller mounts started bending inward, and once these roller mounts cause the rollers to bend inward, this is pretty much not optimal anymore. It's going to keep coursing out after that. So you have to keep bending these back so that the roller mounts are perpendicular to the plane of the chassis. So that's no good, right? You want this to be as perpendicular as possible, and you want this to be as stable as possible, but it's not going to happen if these roller mounts are kind of bending inward. So is this an improvement over the original version 1 chassis? Well, let's take a look at the two chassis and compare. Are they the same, or is there something different about them? So I took the liberty of removing the screw on here so I can remove this part easily. This is the gear cover. And let's also remove this part here, and let's take a peek at what's inside here. So let's see. Let's take a look with this flashlight. If you take a look at the print that's behind this axle shaft, it says 2017 copyright, and it has a part number in there. And the part number is exactly the same part number as here. So this is an identical piece. Also copyright 2017. Let's see if we can see this. 2017. And it says here 18707 is the part number. Same thing with this. 18707. You might not be able to see it, but I can see it. And then we look at the rear of this. So that's the same on the front. Let's close this up so the parts don't like start plopping out while we flip it upside down. Now, I love how fast the Korean Mach frame is. A lot of people like praised this car to no end, but I have my own biases against it. I do think that you will win a few races with this, but after that, this car ends up being pretty much useless because of the front roller mounts bending inwards. So you have to basically buy another one, and another one, and another one. So I consider this car to be the best example of planned obsolescence. You can race it a few times, win some prizes, and then you have to basically put it on the shelf because it's basically useless afterwards. So there are things you can do to adjust the car to make it eke out like a few more races. But after that, it's kind of useless. So let's take a look at the rear. I'm going to remove the motor. Let's see if there's anything different about this in here. So I see it says here A917728-01. If you take a look at that, that's what the code says right there. That's another part number code thing right there. It's under this white part. And if you look at this, it says exactly the same right there. And if you take a look at what this is made of, it says ABS plastic. And this too says ABS plastic. And all the other printings on the plastic are exactly the same. So I don't see any difference between this one and this one. So let's take a peek here, look a little closer at anything here. No. These are identical parts. So nothing has really changed here in terms of the chassis. And the rear part here, it's the same thing. 2017, you can see it all printed on here, on the top bar. So it's possible that they could have printed a whole bunch more, and depending on what factory printed these items, it could be that there's a better version of plastic that they're using, but I don't know, it remains to be seen. I think it's the same darn chassis, basically. So let's put that aside, and we'll just count that out. That's another thing that's basically the same deal. So far, the only thing that's different is the cowl and the weight being half gram more. Now, adding this part on, right, versus just the regular white piece of this, right, it might be a little more than half a gram. So let's also take a look here. Anything different about this? Nope, it's your usual SMC motor. And yeah, nothing special about this pack of stuff. Now, I've seen enough of these kinds of videos where they introduce car kits and the person reviewing the car kit it gets extremely excited over things. I don't get so excited so easily. I'm going to tell you things like it is, and that's going to make my reviews a little bit boring, but they're very honest. I'm telling you things like it is. So I don't honeycoat anything. Like, if Tamiya did something silly, I'm going to tell you. So here, same as the previous kit as well. All of these are the same parts. I don't see anything different about them. So let's take a look here. Yeah, ABS, no, these are POM parts, right? So POM, so yeah. I don't know, unless they've put this also through, they printed this, ran this through like another mold where the plastics are maybe better than the previous version one. I don't know. We're going to find out. Only time will tell after we build this kit and see how it performs. Now let's take a look at the stickers. Uh-oh, wait a minute. These stickers look very much like the stickers that I got here. And I think... Oh, wait a minute. So instead of black here, you get white here. Is that right? So yeah, this is here, this part. So let me point this out better. Blue and white here. That's blue, and instead of black, it's white here. That's pretty cool. Red is here. Now I put this silver stripe down the middle because I think it's cool. I think here you can't create it with these clear stickers, but on the original ones with the silver backing, you can create all of these extra stripes like I've done here. That's how I've decorated my Spider-Man 2099 car. I basically did something like this using the extra stickers that were on the decal sheet, so I could create this kind of camouflage-y looking body cowl decoration. And then here I've got this other cowl that looks super cool. It's the Iron Spider body cowl, and I used the silver backing stickers to create this design right here for the Iron Spider cowl. And what makes this super cool, this particular cowl, is it's a little heavier than your standard cowl because of all this extra stickers I put on here. Pretty cool. So all of these silver foil pieces are created using the standard sticker sheet on a Mach frame. And you can tell that they're part of the original sticker sheet because here are the numbers for the decals on the sticker sheet right here. So if you ignore the numbers and just look at this from like, I don't know, a 35,000 foot view, this looks pretty cool. I like the reflection of things on here. The silver really makes this cowl look pretty neat. So yeah, the Iron Spider. So here, it looks like this is white instead of being black here. It looks like these are the same kinds of things here, these stickers here, these decals. It looks like instead of white, they printed this on a clear back with a slight white background here. So here it's completely white background on this Fighting Korea sticker. There's clear around the edges on here. The Fighting Korea here looks exactly identical to this one. And let's see what else is going on here. This is exactly the same as this, except it's got a clear back with a little bit of white on it. So I'm just going to say that this picture on the box is not accurate color-wise. Take a look at this. This looks like it's light blue. It looks like there's a totally different sticker sheet on here than what we get. Because if you take a look at the lightness of this blue versus the color of the chassis, this is definitely lighter than the color of the chassis, as you see here. But if you take a look at the stickers that you get with it, the decals you get with it, this color blue is basically exactly the same as this blue here. So this is not light blue like this one. What's going on here? Come on, Tamia. Did you have a different version in mind when you were printing this? It's not exactly the same. So let's take a look closer again. Let's look at the front. The front, it looks like this is exactly the same as the decals here. And let's see, looking around the back of this, we have right here, and it looks exactly the same as here. So this is also light blue on this part here, but it's dark blue here on the stickers that you get with the version 2 of the Korea Mach frame. So yeah, they basically hardly changed anything on here, right? This is white instead of black. That's basically the only thing that they changed on here. Is that right? I think it is. And maybe, I'm trying to find something that that will save them, because I think this is like atrocious that they included basically the same stickers on here. Yeah, and this is clear here, whereas this is a white background, so it's red here. Okay, here, this is a different thing right here. It's red here versus silver letters with a black border. So we've got red letters with a white border. Okay, so that's different. And what about here? We got the danger, but I don't think I put it on there because I think that's stupid. And let's see, like, why is this dangerous? It doesn't make sense if you put the danger sign on there. So, oh, here, black with a white star. Here I have black with a silver star. So that's different too. So there are subtle differences, right? So it's not like it's not totally the same, but it's not so different that you'll go, wow, cool. And here we have a black trim with a white center. Here we have silver trim with a black center. Very subtle differences here. So subtle are they that you would basically say that this is exactly the same sticker sheet except for a few things changed, and that's it. So yeah, so those are the differences right so far right now. The decal sheet, just a few items with a clear backing, and the cowl. So I wonder if these stickers, when placed on the cowl, if I put all of these stickers onto this clear cowl, is it going to weigh the same as this? Because maybe the sticker sheet decals weigh less than these foil stickers right here. That's a possibility. And maybe that accounts for the weight difference. And maybe they'll end up being the same weight once I put all the stickers on. But those of you who race professionally or semi-professionally know that you don't want to put all the stickers on a cowl unless you're in a decorative mood or you want to do it for a specific purpose, like weigh down the car. So most people who race their cars, professionally or semi-professionally, don't put all the stickers on. So you might not want to put all these stickers on. You might want to put just one sticker on because that's the rules in box stock. You need at least one sticker on your car. Otherwise, it's not allowed. It's not permissible on the racetrack. So let's see what's different about this. Now it says version 2 on here with the updated picture. Okay, cool. Anything different about the manual? Let's see. Looks like the same manual. Yeah, it looks very much like the same manual. And You know what? I'll bet this is exactly the same also. I think the only thing that might be different is the fact that it says version 2 with this updated picture on this manual. And you know what? They did not even include the yellow sheet with the funny cartoons on there about how you shouldn't be like taking a track part and hitting your brother with it or something like that. They did not include that, or how parents should be teaching their kids how to play with mini four-wheel drive cars. So that yellow sheet is no longer in here, and that's good. Saves paper. So pretty cool. So yeah, I'm going to try building this car, and we'll see if this is any better performance-wise than the original Korean Mach frame. And like I said, love-hate relationship with this car. You'll be able to use this car successfully for a number of races, maybe a handful of races, before you just need to place this on a bookshelf because of the soft blue plastic. The soft blue plastic is terrible. You have to reinforce it after a while, and if you don't reinforce it, then you're just going to not have an optimal car compared to everyone else's cars. For that reason, I feel that racing a regular Mach frame against a Korean Mach frame, you'll have a better chance of having a car that will stay with you for a good number of races more than your Korean Mach frame. Those of you who race Mach frames, you know about mine, right? It's Spider-Man 2099, and yeah, I basically have the bare bones frame on there, and it makes it really lightweight, and yeah, it's a car to beat. It's not the fastest car sometimes, but that's because I didn't optimize it recently. We'll see what happens when I optimize it more, and we'll get it to be up to spec to what it was before. So yes, pretty darn cool. So everybody who knows Spider-Man 2099 knows that it's the reincarnation of the original 2099 car that I had, and yeah. The first one basically endured a head-on collision with another car that turned around, flipped around 180, and ran right into it. That was the unfortunate incident that I had with that. So yeah, we'll try to build another one, we'll see how this goes, and we'll try to race this again, see how fast it is. Pretty darn cool. So yes, this is the Korean Mach frame version 2, $35 you can get it for. Pretty darn cool. So there you have it, the Korean Mach frame version 2. So everybody, if you like this video, please slam the like button, subscribe to my channel, you'll see more videos just like this one. Until next time everybody, see you, bye.